So I wanted to give a little how to use your pelvic wand, starting with super simple, gentle, basic techniques. So it looks a little intimidating when you first get it. And this one doesn't vibrate, but usually I recommend the vibrating ones. And we're going to start with just light touch on the outside surface at first. So you can use it just without vibration at first. Usually for the vaginal opening, we use the broader tip instead of the narrower tip. So I am not an artist, but here's my little drawing here. So this would be the front side, your mons pubis is what we call it, but the front of the pelvis. Then we have the urethral opening. We've got the clitoris at the top. We've got the vagina right there. This is the perineum between the vaginal opening and the anus. So we've got the 3 openings, and we want to look for trigger points eventually within the vagina, but we'll start with just gentle movement and nice easy movement around the area first. Now if this is still too much for you, you can always scale back and use a Courgeous ball. So the Courgeous ball is the blow-up ball. You can deflate it so it looks more like a flat tire. And essentially, you know, this is you have your own ball, it's fully washable. You can use it on your skin itself. So you would sit on it right where your pelvic floor is, and you're going to relax over it, taking deep breaths. Remember, the diaphragm and the pelvic floor talk to one another. So you're going to inhale, you feel the pressure build down towards the ball. Exhale, feel the pressure come off. And then you keep it stuck here, and then you're going to rotate your body to one direction, letting it move the tissue, the labia majora, minora, right around the perineum, all of it. Let it stick and glide lightly, and then stick and glide lightly the other way. Now this ball is pretty full, so you can make it, again, like I said, more like a flat tire. So again, if the stuff with the wand is too intense, scale back to your Courgeous ball. So now to get back to the wand, there's a few different positions you can get in to make it nice and comfortable, because we want to be as relaxed as possible. So you can, you know, hold it at the edge so you have better reach, or you can hold it more up towards the front. You can be lying on your back and then reach down in the front of you. Or you can be side lying. If you're on your side, you can reach around your hip and to the side. And we're just gonna gently come to the side of the vagina, not within, and lightly pull. So it's got that silicone material, and you're gonna pull gently to the sides, either sides, and you're gonna pull in different directions. So pulling up and towards one leg, up and towards the other leg, out to the side, out to the side. So gently mobilizing the opening of your vagina around the labia majora and minora. So those would be on the sides here. The vagina is more within. Then you can come to the perineum, and you're going to, again, gently be motioning the skin back and forth in through here. And then once you get comfortable with that, if you have the vibrating one, I would turn it on and just hold it gently and see how many seconds you can do at a time. Gently hold it to the side of the vaginal opening, let it vibrate. You can play around with light tugging in different directions, both sides, and take note of which side feels more restricted or feels like it's got more stickiness to it. Same thing with the perineum. So you're lightly just placing it on there, letting the vibration happen, and then light and gentle moving to the sides. So we've got, without the vibration, light pulling of the tissue, just to kind of desensitize the area. Because if you've had chronic pain and irritation, you're going to have a brain response to that area to tighten as soon as anything gets near there. So we want to, this is more like brain training than really digging into a trigger point. This is training for your brain to feel safe with things around that area. So without the vibration, then light vibration with it. Nerves love vibration, but we want to work up that tolerance. So you can start with 5 seconds, then do 10 seconds, and then do 15, and kind of working that area. It's also going to help bring blood flow into the area. Once you feel comfortable with that, you're going to just use that small, narrower tip of the broader one, and you're going to gently place it inside. And then I would even just turn on the vibration and let it sit, even just like the first little part of my pinky in there. And this is all depending on how you feel. So everyone's going to be different with this. So let it just sit in there and vibrate. Just, you know, pinky's width. And then draw it up and draw it out at a 45-degree angle. Draw it out to the side. Draw it at an angle. Draw it down. So you're slowly working the tolerance to pressure in different areas with or without the vibration on, depending on how it feels for you. And then you would try inserting it maybe 1 knuckles width deeper. So you're slowly building that tolerance and using that star pattern. So you're pulling in, and when you pull up, don't jam the pointy end in. You're just slowly tiptoeing into this. So I would, if this is the opening and we're putting this in, we're pressing with the broad end, not poking with the pointy end. So we're just gently working the muscles like that without giving them a sharp poke like with a stick. So we're gently working those angles. And then you're slowly increasing the depth of the wand. Once you get comfortable with working that much of it in, you can play around with gently angling the point towards different areas. And then you're going to feel where certain areas are the most tense and painful. So again, this is sort of like when we do muscle work on any other part of the body. We want enough pressure so that we can feel it, but we don't want so much that we're tightening up against it and avoiding or bracing against the pressure. So we have, and it doesn't matter if it takes a months to be able to tolerate it. It's a slow work in progress. You didn't start with a problem real quickly. It builds. It has time to set up patterns in our brain. So we want to take that time to slowly work into accepting more width into that area. So again, if even just the touching on the outside is too much, scale back to the gorgeous ball or the, you know, flattened tire position. And I know this seems super weird. When you bought this, you probably didn't think you were going to use it on your bare skin of your pelvis, but sitting on it, so you'd be sitting on it, and then you're going to shift your body, letting it stick, and then move the tissues this way. Do a few breaths there, stick and move the tissues that way, do a few breaths, and then you can rock back and forth and then play around with your breathing. And even if you can tolerate the pelvic wand right away, that's still a good exercise to do before, even just to prep the area. So you can try that as well. So that's our first video on slowly working into using the wand and being really kind and gentle with ourselves so that we don't do too much too soon and cause ourselves to kind of tighten up in a fear response around that tool. Let me know if you have any questions.